Hey Ashwin, welcome. So recently you worked on a project with the Piramal Foundation where ONEST, the open network for education and skilling, was leveraged to solve a certain problem. Can you tell us what was the core problem that you were trying to solve here?
Yeah, absolutely. So today there's a bunch of benefit schemes given by the government which give a lot of different types of support to citizens. Some of these schemes are like they're giving support to students to complete their education, so scholarships essentially, and a lot of other schemes. So in this particular case, we were looking at some of these scholarship schemes and looking at how we could optimize or how we could improve the delivery of these schemes to citizens. So today, some of the challenges that the delivery has is around the time taken to apply, uh, trusting the certificates or the proofs submitted by the students, and the time taken for the students to receive the money.
So the net effect is that the problem you're trying to solve is that today there is a X amount of time that the student takes from application to that money hitting his bank, which I've heard from you guys is 4 months or more. And the goal of this project was to optimize it down to a few weeks. And then I heard that you actually did a pilot where it was done in a couple of hours. So can you tell me about what are the, if you were to break this problem down into discrete problems, so what are those core discrete problems?
I think that's a great question. So, bunch of them. In fact, we looked at these problems and actually, as part of the project, built 5 different solutions for each of the problems. So, the first thing that we were looking at is discoverability from both sides. Student discovering the benefits that he or she can apply to, and we are also looking at flipping around the problem. Why can we not have the benefits discover the beneficiaries? So that's one problem. Kind of follow up of that is the trust and uh, the the specific credentials or the proofs that enable me to apply things like my education, my maybe income certificate, all of that.
So basically, what you're trying to do here is you're saying the problem is that the user is not trustable because the data that he has about himself is not trustworthy, and it is a frictionful process to evaluate and test all that. And you're saying that is a problem, that this needs to be frictionless trust, so to say. Okay.
Exactly.
What's the third problem?
Yeah. So the next bit is, I mean, while we want to solve for trust, we also want to solve for issuing on the issuer side. So one part is the citizen holding trustworthy documents. The other part is the issuer being able to actually issue those trustworthy documents rather than paper documents.
So you're saying that the problem is trust, but to solve it, you need solutions on both sides. The issuer needs to be hold these documents, and the different people in the ecosystem who are actually issuers of this trust also need to be issued. Okay.
Yeah.
And any other parts of the
And
problem?
then we there is two more aspects to this. One is so today the transaction. Let's say if I want to apply for a benefit scheme, I have to find the scheme. I have to find where to go to apply to the scheme, and actually figure out the application process and apply to them. And I have to do this for each scheme that I want to apply to. So discoverability is another problem. There's the providers that provide the scheme. There's no way for me to discover, or there's no way like a central way for me to discover and apply to them. So that's another thing that we have solved through this platform.
Awesome. So I'll come to you, Manoj, now. I'd like to know that I've heard that 5 different digital public goods have come out as a result of this, and then I'll come back to you, Ashwin, on how this was implemented in the field. But Manoj, I would like you to go a little bit on the technical side now. That Ashwin talked about these fundamental problems, and I've heard that five solutions have come out of it. Can you tell me about what are these 5 solutions?
So the very first solution we can talk about is the issuance platform. So the documents which were in physical format, so to issue those into digital format, and which are called as verifiable credentials. So we ended up creating toaster application called as issuance platform.
Okay.
So inside that you can basically issue different sort of documents like income certificate, caste certificate, and different kind of documents that could potentially be needed for applying to certain kind of benefits.
So basically, this is how you solve for the user becoming more trustworthy. So just like Aadhaar allows a user to prove that he is who he is, similarly, you are saying that your attempt here was to saturate different user information that is issued from different sources by providing him with what you're calling verifiable credentials. So if I may ask you, I mean, a paper credential is already valid, right? So when you say a digital verifiable credential, uh, what are its features? I mean, can you go a little deeper into that? What does a verifiable credential really mean
Sure.
for an end user?
Yeah. So if you consider any example of physical document, let's say you have a 10th mark sheet, for example. So now if I apply for a particular scholarship with that as physical document attached as a proof for something, so somebody needs to manually verify whether all the details, whether the applicant himself is applying for that particular scholarship, whether the mark sheet that he has attached actually belongs to him. So if you want to verify that in a faster manner for a lot of people, so you need a digital way of that. So verifiable credential could be beneficial there. So it is issued by a trustworthy organization, like let's say Aadhaar. Aadhaar is issued by the Ministry for Aadhaar. Your licenses, driving licenses are issued by respective regional RTO offices. Right? So in similar manner, these documents could be issued by a trusted organization in digital manner, so that the trust factor is there. And since those are digital and those can be verified through some programming, basically machine verifiable.
Yeah, so would it be right to say, I mean, sorry to cut you, but what you're saying is that the features are two things. One is that it is not physical, it is digital.
It is digital.
Which also means it's machine readable, that all the attributes in that is machine readable. So I don't have to do like a OCR or whatever on it.
Correct.
And I don't have to manually verify it. And you're saying that every information in that information packet, which is machine readable, is actually digitally signed, which allows you to verify that it's coming from the source of truth, so to say. Cool. So you're saying this was, so the issuance platform was one building block. What else was built?
So another building block, so similar to we have something called as DigiLocker that is present in India. So DigiLocker basically holds a lot of digital documents like Aadhaar, PAN card, driving licenses. So now for this pilot, so the documents which were issued through this issuance platform, we wanted to store those somewhere, like, so that's where we ended up creating a digital wallet for that. So digital wallet basically lets you store your digitally verifiable credentials onto them.
Got it. So it's like a e-wallet for me, where so just like DigiLocker, you created your own micro version of a DigiLocker.
Yes.
Okay. So great. So we have trust established by having issuance platforms. I imagine these issuance platforms were given out to different issuing bodies, and then any student that needed to have their trust established could go to these and they could collect these digital credentials on WhatsApp or whatever and then put them into one place, which is the digital wallet.
Right.
What else was there? I think there are three more
Then,
apps.
to discover different scholarship or benefits, a platform called beneficiary application was created, where student basically log in, they basically register, fill up, basically fetch their digital documents from the wallet. Based on the digital documents fetched from the wallet, their digital profile got created. Like if I have added my mark sheet in my wallet, so if I put fetch that mark sheet, in my profile, my
So
mark
you
sheet
have like a
corresponds-
verified profile effectively,
Yes, so
because
that-
it's all getting created from
So
these
auto-generated profile
VCs.
from those VCs got created, and then based on your profile fields, the matching scholarship were shown in that application. So
And I imagine these scholarships were sourced through ONEST.
yes,
Got it.
so ONEST played a big role here. Like all the scholarship that were created were basically broadcasted onto the network, and the beneficiary application connected to that ONEST network and fetch schemes from there.
Okay. What else?
And then obviously to create those benefits or scholarship, there was a fourth appliance that was created, which was called as provider application.
So this anybody who is issuing a scholarship can use this appliance of yours,
Yes.
deploy it and start publishing their benefits or scholarships to the network.
Yeah, and provider side was connected to ONEST network. So anybody, not just single provider, but basically not just single beneficiary application, but there in future there could be multiple such beneficiary applications which could connect to same network and discover all these schemes created by even same publisher.
Okay. Okay. And I believe there was a fifth verification piece as well.
Yes, so that was kind of on both sides. Like while applying to benefits, there was basic eligibility check that was placed in. Like if certain scholarship was meant for certain caste or like let's say ST or SC, so then if my profile had those values, only then that particular scholarship was shown to me. And while applying also, like while submitting all these digital documents to the provider along with your application form, those particular verifiable credentials were also sent. And on provider side also, we um, have to have those checks where you again recheck whether all the required matching criteria are being filled in by particular applicant or not.
Got it, got it. Sounds amazing. So, Ashwin, I believe all this technology was tested in the field at Junjunu. So, you want to talk about the pilot? What was the impact achieved? What were the numbers?
Yeah, absolutely. So, all the appliances that Manoj talked about, we actually did a 3-4 day pilot at Junjun in Rajasthan, where we actually had a cohort of roughly 110-150 students, and we actually had real donors, real people who wanted to give money to the students for their education. So we simulated a government scheme. When I say simulated, we actually created a scheme through a provider which had the same eligibility criteria, same kind of proofs required as a scholarship scheme by the government. So what we did is we actually used the issuance platform in a quite unique way here. So a lot of the documents that are required were in paper form, and since they're in paper form and the original issuers could not actually change their systems overnight to digitize, we actually got the principals involved from the schools, and we kind of encouraged them to act as digital notaries. So what they did is that they accessed the issuance platform, they looked at the paper certificate and issued a digital equivalent which was signed by the principal, digitally signed by the principal.
Nice.
So this activity happened a couple of days earlier to the actual pilot. So the students came in, digitized their certificates and went back. And on the actual day of the pilot, the students came back and using the certificates that were digitized a couple of days back, they applied to the scheme. They kind of filled in their bank account details, all of that. And we were able to, through the digitally signed documents, approve all the applications barring a few which had some minor challenges, and we were able to issue or rather transfer the money to the students the same day, actually in under 2 hours.
Amazing.
That's
So,
the pilot.
100 plus scholarships issued in just a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Which traditionally would have taken months.
Absolutely. So we distributed around 2.5-3 lakh rupees to the students on that day.
Amazing.